Good evening, everybody.
Hello, how's it going?
Welcome to Whiskey Tango Talk. My name is Brandon.
I'm Kristin.
We're from Whiskey Tango Farms.
Yeah, we are in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. We do this live Q&A every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central. We just kind of hang out and talk about self-sufficiency, homesteading, quail, rabbits, gardening, all sorts of fun stuff. Tractors, sorry, forgot that important one. As we said, we're from Whiskey Tango Farms in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. We ship quail hatching eggs nationwide. Locally, we sell rabbits and such as well. We're working on breeding our herd for that. We go to lots of swaps. We have ducks and chickens and all sorts of fun stuff. So go ahead and say where you're from in the comments below. We kind of go through the comments later after the announcements and say where everybody's from. It's super fun. But we just kind of hang out. You can ask questions if you want. Let us know how your gardening or quail or whatever are doing. We'll talk about it. Just keep it family friendly in the comments. We have Ed and Verna as our moderators. So thank you very much to them for keeping an eyeball on the chat. We are co-hosting QuailCon again this year with My Shire Farm. You can get your QuailCon tickets at myshirefarm.com. We also have lots of merch available for QuailCon on our website, which is whiskeytangofarms.net, which is where you can also find hatching eggs. We have other stuff on there as well, including quail egg stacking trays in a 15 or 30 count. Which actually the 15 count tray we do give away in the 18 and under contest in partnership with My Shire Farm as well. People donate eggs, brooders, handlers, egg scissors, feed, all sorts, everything you need to get started with quail, cages, all that good stuff. But we donate a heat lamp, a feeder, a waterer, one of the 15 count stacking egg trays, a sticker, all sorts of good stuff. So, yeah, we actually, I'll have Brandon show it here in a second. We got another thank you letter from the latest 18 and under contest winner. So it's always super fun when they send us thank you notes. It's not required, but I thought this one was super neat. On the card, it's a hand-drawn, very well hand-drawn quail. That's from the Holm family. They were the May 18 and under contest winners. So thank you to the Holm family. That is super awesome. Impressive. And super impressive card. We love it. We'll put it up next to the others. We keep all that because that's very special and near and dear to our hearts. So you can check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. This does dual stream on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So you might not see some comments. We'll put them up on the screen, but you might not see some because it might be on the other platform. So no worries. Let's see here. We are in production of the Quail Mamas and Daddies calendar, so stay tuned for that. We're working on that. Down below, there is a super chat. It's like a little sticker button that you can donate and proceeds
Super sticker or super chat.
Super sticker for super chat.
Super sticker or super chat.
What he said, but you can donate money and that goes to our channel, which we then put towards QuailCon. So thank you ahead of time, and thank you to those that have donated in the past. We greatly appreciate it. QuailCon is, the tickets are very affordable. They're only $40, and that was something very, very important to us when we were planning that. So, and that has a lot to do with, because we get donations and things like that. So, it's very important. We do have our group on Facebook called Self-Sufficient Backyard. So go ahead and
just over 2,500 members on there right now.
Really? Oh my gosh. It really blew up in the past couple weeks, which is awesome. There's lots of really good conversations in there. It's really cool, like tying in the quail and the rabbits and the chickens and the self-sufficiency and kind of seeing it all come together. And it's really exciting to us to see how there's a lot of people out there that are looking to be more self-sufficient, but they might not have a huge farm to do it at. They have to do it in their backyard or their back porch or their spare room. So super cool to see how creative people are getting. That's something that we're really passionate about too, is like helping people do that kind of stuff and learn now, even if you don't have, 100 acres or whatever. So Or if you do have 100 acres, come and let us know how you're using your space and give us some ideas. But make sure you hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified about all of our upcoming videos. We have lots of good stuff coming to you. Yeah, we went to the PK swap this last weekend. It was lots of fun. It was the first swap after the avian influenza ban was lifted in Wisconsin. So it was like a last minute swap, and there was over 1,000 people there, over 150 vendors. Brandon did a drone flyover video, and we posted that on our YouTube channel. But it's always, I love when he does the drone videos because it's super cool seeing it just from a different angle. The next swap is July 9th, and I think it's gonna be really, really big because this one was planned already like months ago, so people asked off of work for it and stuff, whereas this one last weekend people didn't. Like, a lot of people had to work, but so we will be at that one. That's in Amherst, Wisconsin. I think that's all I have for announcements. Let me just look through, make sure I didn't miss anything. No, that be it. So
Alrighty. I have to go. My streaming software broke earlier, but Joy is here. Says hello, everyone from Western Oregon. Hello, thanks for joining us. S.L. Swanson's here. Says hello, Joy and Ed from looks around. Oh yeah, Mississippi.
Where am I again? Thanks for joining us.
S.L. Says 90 eggs in the incubator. Gotta get my Dale's quails brooder ready. These guys are going outside day one with the heat lamp, of course. It'll be hot down here. I'll keep you posted. Cool.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's definitely nice not having them in the house. We said we weren't going to have any more quail in the house, but we just keep hatching out more quail than we have brooder room for outside, so we still have quail inside, and it drives me nuts. I love them, but they drive me nuts. I don't want quail in my house anymore. But there's quail in my house. I feel like there's always going to be quail in my house.
Sorry. I just had a tickle. Verna says, Kristin, have you tried growing potatoes in bags?
Yeah. I actually, one of our vlogs, I think it was the vlog, it was called like, Look How Far We've Come or something like that. And it has a green stalk as the thumbnail. But I actually used some grow bags that Ed sent me. Ed Got Bait sent me, and I started some potatoes in there, and I showed starting that. And then we do plan on doing a garden tour here shortly as well, so you guys can see how those are coming along. But yeah, you can grow potatoes in bags, whether it's like a reusable shopping bag, or I've seen people use like hampers and things like that. One thing I do want to know is if you're growing in bags, there's a lot of like tutorials and stuff online that says, you know, like throw your potatoes in there, cover it with soil, and then as they grow, keep covering it with soil, and it'll make more tubers. You can only do that with indeterminate variety potatoes. If you do that with a determinate variety potato, you're just going to like bury all your green foliage, and then they're not going to grow because it needs the light on the foliage to grow. But determinate means it's only going to grow for a determined amount of like space, so it's going to stop. Whereas the indeterminate, you can keep adding soil and it'll keep like growing up. There's also determinate and indeterminate varieties of tomatoes as well, so those are good if you're very limited on space and you don't want it to get like ginormous. So like if you're growing like on a porch or something, you want determinate, but don't cover it with a ton of soil because you're going to have a bad time.
All right. Post QuailCon. Truck 3 Wardens here says, hi, Verna. Hope you're feeling better. Verna says she's feeling good.
Yeah, it's been toasty.
Truck 3 Wardens said, got good. Picked up a new puppy today. Been picking strawberries and froze cilantro yesterday.
Oh, awesome.
Cool. Jasmine's here, says, hello, fellow homestead friends. Tuning in from Southwest Missouri for my weekly dose of fellowship and story time.
Yay, thanks for joining us, Miss Jasmine from Time and Timber Homestead.
Ed says, hi to everybody.
Hey, Mr. Ed got bait himself.
Jasmine says, it's been / going to be a big week for our humble homestead. We are growing by 8 paws tomorrow, 24 hooves on Saturday. I had a lot of help and support from Kristin and Brandon making decisions. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm super excited
I wasn't sure.
for you.
I wasn't sure what you were talking about the paws at first, and then it just kind of dawned on me. But yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, she's getting the girls tomorrow, I think. But yeah, super exciting. It's funny you say humble homestead. For a while, when we lived in Stevens Point, and we didn't have like an official like business set up or anything, my album on Facebook for all my farm pictures was Humble Heart Homestead. So, and actually our livestock premises was for Wisconsin was originally registered to Humble Heart Homestead before we decided on Whiskey Tango Farms. So just a random fun fact.
Yep. All right. Jesse Mills is here. Says, good evening, everybody. Good evening,
Hello.
Jesse. Thanks for joining. Truck 3 Warden said, I did get 24 quail to hatch and only lost 1 in the brooder. So feeling good about that. Yes, Ellie is a go-getter. I think you're talking about the dog.
Oh, I was like, who's Ellie? Well, that's good. Yeah, those babies, once they're in the brooder, they sometimes they're very creative in finding ways to unlive themselves. They are very creative and very sneaky, but also very kind of stupid, and it drives me nuts, but I love them.
Yeah, they attempt to end their lives quickly sometimes.
That's their favorite hobby, is offing themselves.
Jasmine says, Verna, we added 3 American Heritage breeds last Thursday, and tomorrow we are picking up Creme d'Argent Junior Does. And the hooves belong to our long-awaited Nigerian dwarf goat herd.
Yay!
Just exciting. I can't wait to see that field mowed down.
Yes. I'm super excited to follow your goat journey.
I mean, I would like to see the goats too, but
yeah.
I just it would be cool to see a before and after picture of the field.
That would be cool.
You need to make sure you take an updated before picture first.
Before, during, and after would be cool. Yeah.
Jesse said, I love that drawing when I opened the envelope. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
it's amazing.
Cool. They, download an image or something, and I looked at it, I'm like, no, that is hand drawn.
That was drawn.
Like, that's awesome.
It even says their name.
Yeah.
So
it's really good. Coming from somebody that has tried to draw quail a lot, not very well, I might mention. I think I finally got a decent-ish one, but that is amazing. Seriously.
Nope. I don't know what happened. Jasmine says, love that hand-drawn quail. You guys are an important part of the 18 and under contest. So glad you get those letters.
Yes.
Yeah, we do too.
We actually have Jasmine's brother's thank you card on the wall by one of our pictures. It has a little bee on it, and we have a picture on our wall. It's a hummingbird with a bee, so I put the card by the picture of the hummingbird with the bee because it's cute. So yeah.
Verna says the donation button is not there tonight.
Oh.
I don't know why. That's weird.
Well, we'll definitely have it back next week. Otherwise, isn't there somewhere where the like buy me a coffee thing is the same thing?
Yeah, it's in there.
Down in the description below, there's a thing where it says buy me a coffee. You're not actually buying a coffee.
It's just a donation.
It's a donation button to the channel. But we're donating that stuff right now to QuailCon as well. Oh my gosh, you're making me a liar.
Well, it's just not in this for some reason. I don't know.
Well, we'll make sure it's back next week. I apologize, you guys.
Well, I can put a link into it real quick.
Okay, please
Yes.
hold. I can keep reading. Jasmine says, "Yay for the band left. I have yet to go or participate in a swap meet. I need to find a local swap near me. I think it would be so fun." Yeah, we originally just found them in some of the like Facebook groups where you can like buy, sell, trade, or whatever farm animals. And then I found a group that was just called Wisconsin Swaps, and people post their swaps there. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Ed Got Bait says, "How is Nano?"
How's Nano? Nano is
A cookie
a
monster.
big poop.
He got into a whole
Yeah,
container of cookies.
But yeah, he ate a whole pack of cookies. That was fun.
Brandon,
his poops were not great.
I feel really bad because like we blamed the kids, like because we didn't. I don't know. He doesn't have thumbs. Like I didn't think he got in the cookie container, you know. And the kids swore like up and down that they didn't eat the cookies. I'm like, why are you lying to me? Like I was more hurt about them lying, or I thought they were, than them eating the cookies, of course, because like whatever. And I don't even remember how we found out, but we figured out that Nano ate the cookies. And
it happened 2 days in a row because I went to the store the
he bought a whole new container of cookies because he really wanted cookies. He had like a hankering for cookies. And then that's when we figured out. The second one, the container was like upside down, like over by Nano's bed. And I'm like, I sent him a picture. I'm like, so the second box of cookies you bought is also gone. And I think I know who done it. And that's when we realized that he ate not one, but 2 containers of M&M cookies from Quick Trip. So he likes, they're called button cookies, but so anyhow, he is naughty. In his defense, though, I think Khaleesi taught him a lot of his bad habits. He was a pretty good boy for the most part, although he did sometimes like run away. We would let him out to go potty and he would run around to the compost pile and try to steal eggs because he gets quail eggs as treats. And then he sees like old quail eggs on the compost pile and he's like, "Whoa, there's treats," even though he doesn't realize they're old. So anyways, but then Khaleesi came along and she came to us already knowing how to counter surf. And now she taught Nano to counter surf. In fact, the other day I was setting eggs and I turned around and there's a bunch missing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't set any here. Like, what's wrong with me? You know, I was just having a bad day. Set more where it was empty. Turn around, they're missing again. I'm like, what the heck? So I spun around the other way and there's Nano crunching on his stolen quail eggs. And I'm like, so anyways, he's good, but he's slightly naughty, but he's really cute.
Yeah,
and
he's a poop.
He's been pretty good at because he's still he's a service dog, but he's still in training. And he's done really well at, like, we went to a flea market where there wasn't supposed to be pet dogs, and there were several pet dogs there that were naughty. And they were like barking at him and like trying to attack him. And he like just stood there and looked at him like, "Whoa, bro, I don't know what you want. I'm just here to like do my job." And I was super proud of him. And like even some of the strangers around us were like, "Oh, he's so well behaved. Like, look at him. You can tell he's a service dog and they're not supposed to be here like the other people." And he's been a good boy. So yeah, good but bad.
Kelly's here, says checking in before doing another farm tour and butcher class. That's pretty cool. Thanks for joining. Make sure you hit the like button.
Yeah, hit the like button before you head out, please.
Charles is here, says hello everyone.
Hello, how's it going?
Hello.
Oh, excuse me.
Beth is here from Facebook, says hi guys, my potatoes are going crazy this year. That's awesome. Congrats. Ours are doing pretty good.
Some of them are.
I gotta work on the potato bugs.
Yeah, we have potato
beetles,
squash beetles or whatever. Potato beetles, not squash beetles. But I'm like kind of disappointed. Only about half of our potatoes actually came up.
Oh, they're not rotted. I just think they're too deep. Honestly.
Oh, did you dig some up?
Yeah, when I was putting in the pond, some of them came up because that's like the edge, and it's fine. It scabbed over just fine and everything. It just didn't grow.
Have enough energy to reach the surface.
It didn't. Well, it didn't even want to. Like it was not getting water to like.
That'll do it.
Verna says, don't know what type there is on the store bought potatoes. LOL, that's what I plant.
I think
What were you
most
talking about?
the determinate and indeterminate varieties, most of them are indeterminate. Determinate potato varieties. Potato. Examples of determinate potatoes are Yukon Gold, which we have out in our field, Norland Fingerling, and Superior. So, but like the German Butterball, which is what I had in my grow bag, and this is before I knew there was determinate and indeterminate potatoes, so I got really lucky. I bought German Butterball potato starts from Jung's and put those in there, and all of the Yukon Golds, which are determinate, are out in the field. So if I would have switched that, well, I still would have gotten some potatoes, but not very many. A grow bag, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. You can do whatever you want. You just need to know what it is. So most of them are indeterminate.
All right. Ed wants to know, have you seen the mini corn? Don't know. I haven't seen any mini corn.
I have seen like mini corn for sale, like the ornamental corn.
I've seen like little blue ones before.
Yeah, and there's like a strawberry one or something too. It's red. It's like red ornamental corn. I've always wanted to, the mini corn that's not actually corn, that's in Chinese food. I like those. I don't know how to grow those or where they come from, but I like those.
The baby corn?
Yeah, but it's not actually corn, I don't think. Is it? Oh my God, my life is a lie. I thought somebody told me that wasn't actually corn.
I don't know. I mean, it's got a corn stalk or corn like cob and everything.
Is baby corn actually baby corn? Oh, it is. Okay.
There you go. See? I say you eat the cob and everything. And it's a little baby corn. Haven't you ever taken a little baby corn? Like,
yes, I have. I think everybody has done it.
It's like that movie Big. And he eats that. And tries the caviar. Oh, you probably don't even know what I'm talking about. It's before your time.
Yeah, you old man.
Verna says, I hope some of the nannies are in milk. I don't know what that means.
Oh, the goats?
Oh.
Is she talking about the Nigerian goats?
Oh, yeah. That probably. Ed wants to know, Jasmine, did you finish the goose house? I'm curious about that too. Jasmine says, I did, Ed. They have slept in it 3 nights in a row now. The geese finally figured out the ramp. Cool. Ed says, random fun facts with Kristin. Up next, story time with Kristin.
I don't know which fun fact I shared. It was the determinate and indeterminate or what it was.
Verna says, but that is your job as quail parents to make sure they have no way to do that. To
off themselves.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the fun of it, is trying to make it as difficult for them to do it again in the future and try to think like, oh, well, they might try this other thing too now or something. So
yeah, Jasmine says the geese don't appreciate change. LOL, definitely creatures of habit. Yeah. Ed said LOL just like me. He met him, but not me.
You too, though.
Yeah. Oh, LOL, an animal's got a sweet tooth.
He does.
Yeah.
That's why he's so sweet.
Francis, that is great. Enjoy your coffee.
Oh,
well, thanks.
Thank you.
Have you fed quail duckweed? We have to do the duckweed report. Duckweed report. No, I have not fed the duckweed, or the quail duckweed. Wow.
The ducks love the duckweed.
The ducks do. So we've been letting the ducks free range the backyard because we have a fenced in area. And for the last 4 days, I think. And they're really enjoying it. But I have a little makeshift pond that I have some duckweed growing in, and they've almost stripped that pond clean. It's like 50-gallon tote.
We did get to experience. So we have a corgi in addition to the 2 Great Danes.
I watched her do that today.
Yeah. She is not trained to herd or anything, but corgis are herding dogs. Usually they're for cattle, goats, larger animals.
She herds.
She can herd, and she tried
knows how to herd.
herding us before, and HERD, not HURT, but she will round up the ducks and herd them back into their pen if they're out. So if she's out and she sees them out of their pen, she knows that's not where you belong, and then she it is really cool.
Yeah, I watched her doing it today, and the ducks were back behind the quail barn, and she went back there and scared them. She got them cornered, so the entrance is here, and they were over here, and she was purposely pushing them to get them this way. But then as soon as they started walking, she jumps and tries to overcorrect so they don't go too far, and she'll go actually go in there. And there was one still stuck behind the quail barn, so she, as soon as all those ducks went in, she watched, and then she ran back and grabbed the other one and herded that one back into the pen. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. I saw it and I was like, no way. I'm maybe it's just a one-time thing. 5 minutes later, my son came in. He's like, Mom. And he told us, I'm yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? And so it's cool that it wasn't just a one-time thing. It's cool just that instinct is there. It's not cool when she bites our ankles and stuff to try to herd us, but she's actually gotten pretty good at that. But yeah, instincts are there for sure.
Jasmine says, so we will be having goat babies in the future. Babies equal goat milking, but their initial job is to control brush and brambles and weeds on 6 to 7 acres.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see little kids.
And then Verna says, and meat eventually, right?
Maybe we can get some goats from Jasmine.
Verna says peppermint oil will help with the beetles. She said, I have sweet potatoes and white potatoes. I'll have to try.
I don't know about sweet potatoes, how those work growing, but
Ed said, Kristin, did you plant anything in the new grow bags I sent?
No.
I had no idea he sent more.
The herb one, the hanging one.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I was I told you to tell him thank you. You definitely knew.
I did. I did tell him thank you. I just totally forgot.
No, I don't want to just plant seeds in there. So I need to start some seeds and start some plants, and then I will transplant them in there. So no, not yet. But I plan on putting a bunch of herbs in there.
I say we have some herbs out there yet that are good. I think we have some chive and some chamomile yet.
I don't know if those are big enough for that, though. Thanks.
Eyelash.
Oh, I feel like that.
No wishes for you.
I feel like the size. Well, maybe we could try it.
I think it'll work.
Might as well try it.
I think it'll be fine. I don't know.
It's
worth a shot.
We can try it. I do have some other herbs that I bought seeds for, but I didn't actually start that I wanted to. So that'll be perfect for that. Actually, I have some dill and catgrass and catnip and lemongrass and all sorts of fun stuff. My nasturtium, well, it's not really an herb. It's just pretty, but my calendula, I have one plant that only came up. My yarrow I killed, so I need to try that again, but
Verna says baby corn is usually an oriental food. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love baby corn.
Me too.
Ed said, Kristin, fun fact was how you ended up with the WTF name.
Oh, yeah, the Humble Heart Homestead and then the WTF.
La Rochelle Farms here says, hello all. What's going on around here?
Just
Everything.
chatting, hanging out. Welcome.
Verna says, you're slipping, not giving it to the quail. I know. I have a bunch I have to harvest again because that stuff grows like weed. And like weeds. Because it's a duckweed.
I got it.
And I'm gonna, I'll have to give some to the quail.
We're definitely gonna try it first with like our fun quail, like our personal quail, and not the breeders. Because I'm like, or maybe when it slows down or something. But I don't want to give it to the breeders right now because I'm like, if for some reason it like makes their eggs wonky or I don't know, I don't think it's gonna kill them or anything. But if it causes some weird issue or something, I don't want it to happen to the breeders. So we're gonna try it on the like pet personal quail first, the fun project quail.
Sorry, I keep yawning. I haven't eaten in a while and my body's getting tired. Last week I had so much duckweed, I didn't know what to do with it.
It was like growing up the sides of the container, like, let me out.
It was so thick in the containers, and then even the outside pond was so thick. Like, I nearly extincted out of the outside pond because it was crazy. The whole thing was just covered in duckweed. And
it's weird because when it gets really overgrown, it like implodes on itself, kind of like it starts killing itself off or starts dying off because it chokes itself out. It
will eventually use up all the oxygen in the water, even though it gives oxygen to the water.
But it takes more than it gives.
Will take more.
Yeah, and then it'll just like kill itself off. It's really weird. Interesting.
Yeah. Verna says Lucy herds quail. That's cool.
Yeah, Latte, she will catch quail as well.
She'll catch them and just eat them.
Yeah.
She's not very nice about it.
We've tried teaching the dogs, like, you don't eat the quail unless I put it in the bowl for you.
They're pretty good at it.
Latte does not get that memo.
At least Nano does. He didn't that one time when I wasn't out there, though.
Khaleesi didn't get that memo either, but she's really young, so yeah. She needs more time.
Verna says, plant some carrots and beets in grow bags.
Yeah, I could do that. I do have... Oh, no, I don't have any more carrot seeds.
We don't?
No, I just mixed them all up and I threw them in the field, remember?
Oh.
That's why they're all like...
Oh, that didn't work.
Yeah, the carrots didn't... So, like, we don't eat a lot of carrots or anything. I grew some because, like, I like to eat raw carrots, and I got some, like, pretty colors and stuff. But it wasn't anything I was going to be, like, heartbroken over if they didn't grow. And they're not doing very well. I'm disappointed, but I'm not, like...
I forgot what that weed is outside, what it's called, because I learned about it recently.
Oh, the stuff that's, like, taking over that I loathe?
But, yeah, it's very prolific weed.
I noticed. It's everywhere.
I don't know where the heck it came from.
It's worse than that grass that we have.
It's bad.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. We'll have to do a video. Show everybody. Where am I? It says, hence duckweed. Yes, it is a weed.
Yeah. I kind of want to try the Azolla too, but I feel like it's kind of high maintenance though. I don't know.
Let's say Azolla needs less light.
Yeah, only 30% sunlight.
Joy wants to know, how do you feed duckweed to quail? Well,
I don't know. Would you dry it out first, or would you give it to them just
give
fresh?
Them green.
Just scoop it out and...
You'd have to give it to them in a pan of some sort, something like that.
Yeah, because I mean, at least like when you throw grass or something in there, you just throw it in there and they're fine. But the duckweed would be
with the cage bottom.
it would kind of fall through because it's small. We have giant duckweed as well, but even that I think would fall through that thing too.
Big.
Yeah, it's giant compared to the other duckweed, but it's not. It's yeah, you definitely have to put it in like a pan or a dish or something. And I wouldn't want to mix it in with the food or put it on top of the food because it's got that moisture, and I wouldn't want to expose the food to that. So definitely a separate container.
Ed says, Brandon, duckweed adds O2 to the water. It uses up the nitrogen. It's true, but when it over packs in the totes or bins that we use, it will actually end up suffocating itself because it's using too much oxygen.
Yeah, because I had it going and it was doing good, and all of a sudden it started like dying, and I told him, like, I had already killed the Azolla at that point, and I was like, I give up, I hate this. I was so mad, so mad. And I'm like, I can't dedicate time and knowledge to this when I was trying to get the garden going and stuff. And he did a bunch of digging, and then he found out that we needed to add oxygen and make sure that the container itself is maybe 60 to 75% full at most, like as far as like surface area. Otherwise, it starts like choking itself out. And then he also started with the aerator thing to help get that oxygen in there.
Mark asked if we have seen the thoracic compression to cull quail. I've not.
My mom has done it with a chicken before, though. I think. Is that where you like squeeze the chest really hard?
Mm-hmm.
That I don't know if I should say that like on the live because I don't want to like get shut down. But I have seen it done. We haven't done it with quail though. I didn't really care for it being done on the chicken, and maybe we weren't doing it right, but it seemed not very. I just didn't care for it. I would definitely prefer the oh my god, brain fart.
The bloodless call.
Yeah, but cervical dislocation.
Oh.
Wow. I'm sorry, you guys. To be fair, it's probably been a really long time since my mom had done something like that, though, when she did that. So, I mean.
Ed said, see, you need a goat to take care of that plant that you hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only problem is the goat would eat the rest of the...
Yeah, it's mixed in.
It's in all of our gardens. So... Little Shaw Farm said, LOL, we did a live on it last night.
Oh.
I
Just
had no idea. We're at the end of the list.
That might be good for... because Yusef, there's a certain method.
He has to slit the carotid.
No, he's not supposed to damage the airway, and
I thought he had to. I'm pretty sure you have to.
I can't even think what the term is.
Needs to, but yeah, you can't damage the airway. I think it's the halal method or something.
Halal.
I don't remember.
I don't know how to spell it. Halal method of.
Yeah. See, Verna said he has to bleed out.
Oh, it does. Okay.
So I said.
Okay, you're right. So that I remember it was basically I remembered you couldn't just snip.
She said halal. Yeah, you see, you got it right. Jasmine said it.
Oh, this says and the windpipe. I'll have to do more reading. It's interesting. Okay, anyways.
Mark says it was shown to me by a falconer and is apparently the preferred method.
Oh, interesting.
That's interesting.
I wonder why that is.
Say our falconers don't care how the bird's called. They don't even care if there's blood on them or anything.
Yeah. Maybe it depends on what type of, because I know some birds are very, like raptors are very picky with what they will and won't eat. But
from talking to them, all they do is cut up the bird anyways and feed pieces to them.
Oh, really?
Like there's a couple of the falcons that they'll feed a whole, but usually it's a half of the bird.
I wonder if that's because it's frozen. I should ask Sam. One of our customers is actually a friend that I went to school with, and I dropped off some, we call them Scooby snacks. They were just chicks that didn't live in the brooder because that's a thing. But we call them Scooby snacks. And she sent me a picture of the falcon she had with it like the baby quail like hanging out of its mouth, and it was like so freaking cool. And then I got to hold it too. Its name was 13, I think was the name of she released it now because she can only, whatever program she's in, like she can only keep it so long and then has to release it or something because she's an apprentice. I'm not really sure how the laws all work, but then there's some people that I think keep their hawk or raptor for like their whole life. But I think that's like at a certain like level of certification or something. I don't really understand it. It's super cool. Like we went to one of the falconer conventions and just seeing them all talk, it's kind of like how we are with quail, like talking about all these terms and stuff that, as an outsider, I'm like, what language are you speaking, And like they're buying like different bells for their hawks. And they're like, oh, I don't like the sound of that one. And I like this bell better. But do you have it to tie on with this leather instead of that leather? And I don't know, it's very interesting. So.
Yeah, Mark said, didn't Yusuf have to end his quail keeping? Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I tried convincing him to keep with it or if he wanted to get back into it, but I believe he had a predator attack and and I've been there too, like we've had a predator attack and you're like, I can't do this anymore. Like it does take a while for your heart to heal from something like that. It's very difficult. So I can understand, but I hope he gets back into it for sure.
And he also says so that method keeps the muscles intact and forces the birds of prey to work harder to pull the meat off. Apparently, it's exercise for them. So I can't imagine the way we call that's any different, really. For the bird, I mean, they're cutting the birds in half and giving them.
Yeah.
So.
I
guess it depends on the size of the bird.
Yeah.
Charles V says, do you have any suggestions on fly control?
Yeah, we are working through that right now, actually. I think it's the combination of the very wet and then very hot, quick weather here in combination with us having the ducks in the backyard. It's like fly central, and I don't like bugs at all. Let me start with that. So we got some fly traps and it kind of sort of worked. And then last year we had some fly strips and it kind of helped. But this year they're out and they're like hardcore, like could carry me away, and I hate it. And we invested in some fly predators, which are some small stingless like wasps, basically. What they do is the fly predator will lay its eggs and feed on the larva of the flies. So it takes care of that portion of it as long as you have enough. And then we set up fly traps, and I see Ed linked ones that we actually have. Mm-hmm. And I found out today there's actually different sizes because they ordered the smaller size on accident, I guess. But anyways, so we have that up for the adults because the fly predators will only take care of the small ones. And then you get them every month. They're it's called Spalding Labs. It's SPALDING. And they have you fill out like a little form, and it says like how many animals you have and that kind of thing. And then they make an estimate of how many fly predators you need and how often you need them. So to start with, I said, hey, we have a lot of like live flies right now.
These are the big ones that we got.
And so they sent us quite a bit of some to start with, and we sprinkled that. And I feel like the piles where the eggs were being laid, I feel like that is better, maybe. And then the fly traps, and I feel like we're getting there, but it's definitely a struggle. So
yeah, those fly traps work really good.
mm-hmm. And they honestly, we've had other fly traps in the past, and like the pheromones or whatever, like the smell, these ones don't seem quite as bad. It still stinks, like don't get me wrong, like when you walk right past it,
stink.
but it's not as bad as because we had those ones in the chicken barn last year, and those ones were really bad. Like I wasn't even in the barn, and I was like,
oh, I had the other kind.
It was like in a blue.
I got those from, yeah.
It was like off brand, I think, or something.
I had those from the farm store. I forgot what it was called. But anyways.
Not Jung's. What is that place called?
Yeah, I know.
Jmar.
I
got the first letter right.
But yeah, I mean, black soldier fly larva is good for control, or the fly predators to put down there. I actually ordered some black soldier fly larva, actually fairly cheap. I found a place that sells compost grade, they call it. So they're the very young, early stage of they're
the hungry kind.
So I got 5,000, I think, larva for like, I don't know, I think it was like $35 with shipping. So
and that's why I say, like, when I don't like bugs, like, so it really weirds me out and grosses me out to get bugs to kill the bugs, but I also don't want to be like spraying stuff all over my yard. Like, I don't want it by the quail because we eat the quail, we feed the quail to our dogs. We have dogs, we have kids, we have cats. I don't want to be like all up in some chemicals and all that. So, I mean, like if a time ever called for it where like I had to use a chemical approach, like I would, but I definitely wanted to try some of these more natural approaches first. So I guess if that means bringing in some good bugs, insects, so be it. Yeah.
Jasmine wants to know, how do your quail/rabbits do with 4th of July fireworks? Last year we had no problems with our quail, and the older rabbits have never been scared, but the new babies have me worried.
I don't think,
we didn't really have neighbors doing much fireworks last year.
I think it was like July like 7th or 8th that we got our rabbits from Tiffany. I'd have to look at my notes.
We did have rabbits.
Did we?
Then I don't think we had the meat rabbits that we have now. I think we had that one New Zealand or whatever, or the mini Rex. We definitely had the mini Rex. And I think
they did fine. They lived through it. We did lose.
That was
a thunderstorm. I lost a couple during a thunderstorm last year because the barn door blew open.
Yeah.
And I think we lost one in near Hutch for fireworks. But that.
Yeah, I think we did.
But
one quail.
Yeah, which I didn't think was that bad. I mean, obviously, like, I'd prefer to not lose any, but.
Mark says spraying poop catch bins and trays with permethrin has really helped reduce flies.
Last year, I noticed too, now DE, diatomaceous earth, is kind of controversial in the fact that you have to be careful around pollinators like bees. I did sprinkle some of that in the quail poop trays in the quail barn because there's no bees in there. And that did help in there a lot. That like definitely like put a stop to the flies in the quail barn last year. So I sprinkled it like outside so the dust didn't get by the quail. And then I put the shavings, like a thin layer of shavings on top of that. And that made a huge difference. So that's another option. But yeah, I would advise to be very careful around pollinators with that.
3 Stone Homestead says, hello, was super excited to tell you that from your eggs that we are now getting about 1.5 dozen each day from our quail. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
That's super cool. Yeah, it's cool to hatch your own birds, but then when they start laying eggs, you're like, ah! And then if you choose to incubate their eggs and they have babies, that's like, ah! And it's just like, there's so many cool like milestone moments with quail. So super excited for you. I'm glad that they are doing well and doing their job.
I didn't realize my lack of hair here was like all curled up. Anyways, Otis is here. Says hello. Hi.
Hello.
Johnny is here. Says hello, y'all. Hello. Thanks for joining. Otis says I clean on Sunday and Wednesday to keep flies down. Yeah, most of our fly issues are outside because they poop on the ground and then we don't have much to take care of them.
It's the grow out bins, and then actually why we started letting the ducks out. Is
the duck area is so wet and nasty.
So letting the ducks out is kind of like a twofold hopeful thing because we're hoping that their wetness will be spread out more instead of being all in their hutch area. But I'm also kind of hoping that they'll pick at the larva underneath the quail grow out.
They've been foraging around the grass in other areas.
I haven't seen them under there, unfortunately. Which, with the fly predators being in there, I guess I don't really want them in there because then they're going to eat the fly predators. But we actually have more on the way, I think, because I saw it came out of the bank account. Because it's like automatic, and they say that they charge you like a week before they ship. And we got charged quite a few days ago, so it should be on its way here soon, I think.
It says, now if you're letting the poop hit the ground, don't kill off the black soldier flies, as the house flies will not lay eggs in the poop. Yeah, that's the whole reason I'm going to do a test against the fly predators versus the black soldier flies.
You can put two like in the grow.
I'm going to do all the fly predators on the grow outs, and then I'm going to do the black soldier flies over by the ducks in my cages.
Okay.
And on the compost pile.
Yeah, I figure on the compost pile for sure.
If I have enough. I might have to order more. I don't know. Unless somebody else wants. Does anybody else have any? I'll ask for some. I'll pay. Mark, does permethrin have an effect on future compost put in the garden, or the birds that find the maggots delicious? That's interesting. I'd be curious about that. I know if put like lime in, that'll affect and pull a lot of nitrogen out of the compost. So it's not good to put lime on there.
Although, I mean, if you have very hot compost, that would be okay though, right? To kind of slow it down a little.
I don't know. Otis says, thanks, Mark. That call was a new one on me. I was considering CO2, but you sold me.
Yeah, we were looking at CO2 for a while too, but like just to set it up, I don't know, you're so quick at it. You're very efficient.
I can do it very quick.
Yeah.
So I've found ways to be very efficient, like you said. Ed says the black soldier flies don't seem to go into fly traps. Oh, that's good. I was kind of worried about that, honestly. I'm worried about the fly predators eating black soldier flies, so I don't want to mix the two.
I would be worried about the black soldier flies eating because they're bigger. The fly predators are teeny tiny.
I know, but I'm afraid that the fly predators will eat the black soldier fly larva, the baby larva.
Oh, maybe that they would. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And they're so small, like you can't really see it. You just have to guess.
Jasmine said, smart Otis, that's the key. Regular changing of the trays. Yes. Yeah, definitely changing the trays helps a lot minimize the flies, like in the quail barn and stuff like that. We really don't have issues. I put a screen up in the quail barn and everything, and then with the changing and everything, there's not many flies in the quail barn as there is outside, which is nice.
It's definitely the grow out quail hutches and the ducks that are the main issue for the flies, and the compost pile a little bit, but honestly it's more so the ducks and the grow outs.
Ed says, Otis, the CO2 way, you can do a lot at once. You can. It's just the price of CO2 and
the regular
getting everything to do it. To me, I didn't find it worth, because I think we would end up having to invest like $300 to $400 and doing it. And I'm like, well, just, doing the cervical dislocations really fast and easy. Jasmine says, love diatomaceous earth for sure. Otis said, flies have a life cycle too. We just have to clean faster than they hatch. That's true. Verna says, incubation is addiction. Getting your own eggs to give you the fever to feed the addiction. Yeah. Ed says the life expectancy of a housefly is generally 15 to 30 days and depends upon the temperature and living conditions.
Yeah, the problem too is like it's hard because if you have a bunch of flies, you can see those, but you can't, they're also laying like tons of eggs. So then like in a little while, in a few days, you're going to have a bunch of like baby flies, and then it's a snowball effect.
Woman of Spirits here says blessings all around. Thanks for joining. Three Stone Homestead, we are having problems with heat with all of our animals. How are you keeping yours cool? Ventilation for the quail barn has been basically the key for that. My outdoor hutch for the quails, they've been fine. They pant and stuff. For as far as the rabbits go, we have fans and give them frozen water bottles to keep cool, lay up next to. But yeah. It says the flies will keep coming, but if they lay eggs, the black soldier fly larva will eat them. They will eat anything, and fast. A whole quail will only last overnight.
Oh.
Woman of Spirit says water mister and a big fan keeping my animals cool. Yep, that's a good idea as well. Ed says black soldier flies don't bite at all. It's good to know. Verna says, wow, Ed, wonder how they would do clean the quail skulls. Verna says she has 2 air conditioners going. Quail room has one, and we have one. That works. It says CO2 tank from paintball guns cheap. Yeah, I don't know how long it would last, though. That's the problem. Ed said, Verna, it would work, but you'd have to wash the poop off later for the skulls. Otis, I was just about to say I did paintball tanks, a plastic tote when I did a lot of rodents for reptiles. Yeah, I was just going to get a full tank, just a bigger tank, just so, because there's nobody around here that fills the paintball tanks besides really the welding shop where you get the CO2 tank anyways. And it would last longer. Three Stone Homestead says, right now are fighting flies. We have our quail right now by our back door, so fighting them outside and in, need to move them in a rack in the house. Yeah, we definitely had more flies in the house last year, I think, honestly. So, I mean, the flies have been staying out a lot more.
Goodness.
But anything else? No.
If I know we had a couple people jump on a little later, just make sure that you are getting your QuailCon tickets. That is Labor Day weekend at My Shire Farm in Miamisburg, Ohio. The tickets are available at myshirefarm.com. And then you can get all of your QuailCon merch at whiskeytangofarms.net. We have t-shirts, a magnet. I'm working on getting a couple other goodies and some swag on there as well. I'm just trying to make sure it looks good and not cheap or anything, because I'm kind of picky. But make sure you hit like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. We have lots planned coming up, and we'll have lots of videos coming out for you guys. So thanks again to Ed and Verna for moderating for us. And thank you to everybody for tuning in tonight. We greatly appreciate your support, and thank you for hanging out with us. But we hope you have a good night. Bye.
Okay. Thanks.